Man, look at all these robbers. Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. This video here, I'm going to be doing a fall harvest on these two hives. And I have an assassin bug on my head. Where did he come from? Yeah, check him out. Some people call it a wheel bug. Anyway. So these are my two hives from western Oklahoma that belong to my father-in-law. There he goes. So yeah, they eat bees, they eat a few. It's no big deal. But they're pretty cool. They call it a wheel bug because there's a little thing on the back that looks kind of like a wagon wheel. But these were my father-in-law's hives. He was not able to take care of them anymore. And they were attacking my brother-in-law's when they were out there trying to mow. So I brought them here. These are the strongest hives I've ever seen in my 10 years of beekeeping, 11 years, whatever it is. And they were very strong. They had supers on them. And I went through, I pulled a split out of this one, and I accidentally got the queen, and the queen's in one of these hives over here. And I put empty frames in there to give them more space. The supers were full, and the bottom was completely full, just packed with bees. And they had a good nectar flow on, and I don't know for the life of me what kept them from swarming. And after a while, I went through here and I found another queen, and they had not superseded or anything like that, or done the emergency queen. So there were two queens in this hive. There had to have been, because there was eggs immediately after, well, about a week after I came back and inspected this. There was eggs in here, and it was way too soon for them to be eggs. So yeah, there were two queens in this hive. And both of these made, I've had 3 supers on each one. This one only filled 2 of them, where this one just did 1, or I did all 3. But yeah, they were excellent honey producers. But boy, they were really mean. But after I got them here and got their population settled out and got more supers on them, they chilled out. They're not bad at all now. So it just goes to show you the conditions that you're in, the time of year, how much food they had available, and all that's what made them really mean. I'll put a card up here so you can go see when I inspected these hives. It's called like Could They Be More Pissy or something like that. But man, yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, the next week or two I went back and in the evening, and I disassembled them and reassembled them in the back of my truck, brought them here, and instead of disassembling them here in the dark and setting them back up, I used my tractor and I ratchet strapped them down together, and oh, he's mean. And lifted them up with my tractor and set them down. That worked pretty good. So I'm going to take these 3 supers, and this honey is put in here after July 3rd when I harvested. So all their forage is post 4th of July. And this honey is going to be darker, and it's going to be a different flavor than the honey that I harvested on July 3rd. I have a few customers that really like this fall honey, and I got 2 or 3 asking me right now, when are you going to have it? When are you going to have it? Because this is what they want. So I'm going to get this off of here with some fume boards and get it up into the apartment and let it be getting up to temperature so I can extract it and get it ready for those folks. So yeah, this sells super fast, but I don't do much fall harvest because I like to keep as much honey as I can on the bees. So these supers here were supers that other hives that did not get filled out. It was like on the top, and it was towards the end of the flow, and they just didn't get to them. So I just put them on top of these really strong hives, and they filled them up. One of them doesn't have the frames all drawn out when I put it on there, so they didn't draw the frames out anymore. But what was there, they did fill. So let's get my fume boards going, get over here, and get these into the cart and get them up to the apartment. Okay, real quick, let's take a peek in here, see what they look like. And for all I know, they've consumed all this or took it down below. And after I take these off of here, I want to check the weight on these hives and make sure I didn't just take away everything they had. That would be bad, because they wouldn't last long. And you can leave supers on over winter. You just don't want to make sure you have your queen excluder off, so as the ball of bees moves up, the cluster goes past that excluder, the queen can't get through it, so she'll stay down below and freeze to death. So you want to make sure your excluder's out of here if you overwinter supers on a hive. And I don't like to do that at all, because the queen will lay eggs and you'll have brood in your honeycomb. And that honeycomb that's had brood in it attracts wax moth larvae, or wax moths. So if you remember earlier in the year when I did this, they were just all over me. Also, thanks to all of you that ordered your Hive Alive tools using my link. Man, there was a bunch of them. So hopefully y'all enjoy them as much as I do. I want to get this propolis off of here. Normally I'd leave this because that's how they keep the hive beetles out of there, but I'm fixing to harvest this, so I'm not worried about it. Got all these little beetle gels here where they block the beetles in there and propolis it shut, and the beetles starve to death. Unless you open the lid up before they starve out, then you take the lid off of it and they all get away. And all the bees go, "Oh, we did all that work. You just let them all go. Way to go, beekeeper." All right. Man, there's so much propolis in here, I can not hardly get my hive tool in there. Yeah, so this side they didn't fill, but this is, and it's capped. Yeah, here's a nice representative frame. Yeah, so that super's basically full. That's what we got going. And a little bit uncapped right there. Do the shake test real quick, but this honey is thick. If it shakes out, I'll be shocked. You might see a bee drop. Yeah, no liquid come out at all. So yeah, that thing's full. Do this one on the other side. They're getting a little testy now. Yeah, so there's liquid there. It's uncapped on both sides. But it's basically full. That'll be some good stuff. All right, let's go get the fume boards. Okay, I went and grabbed this out of the old barn over there, and I had the two fume boards I have stacked back to back to keep any mice or rats getting in here and getting to that cloth. And it smells pretty strong without putting anything on it, and my honey robber's up in the other barn. So I'm going to put this on there like this and see if there's enough fumes left on this from July to push these bees down. And I'll head up there and get my honey robber, but I'm just curious to see how much that'll do. Gosh, it took me forever to find my honey robber. I had my honey super stacked up in front of it. I couldn't see it. So with these bees here, trying to get in there and rob, I would say that fumes isn't strong enough to get those down out of that super. We shall see. No, didn't even faze them. So if you're not familiar with this, it's called honey robber, and it's butyric acid, and it smells kind of like very ripe cherries is what it smells like to me. And this is about the most economical that I've found, and it's organic. It's a natural acid. Just made some little lines on there. And since it's not real hot, I'm just going to leave it sealed up. Normally I'll leave a little bit of a crack like this for some of the bees to get out. I think what I'm going to see though is more bees going in than are coming out, because there's robbers around here. Yeah, I just seen 2 or 3 go right in there. So I'm gonna leave just a little crack and keep an eye on it. Yeah, see these bees flying around here? They're trying to go in. Looks like it's strong enough that they're not going in. Oh, one just went in right there. And there. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this off. So over here on my trailer, this is how I do this. I have a piece of cardboard down to kind of be a bottom seal, and I'll set the super on top of that cardboard, and I'll set this inner cover over the top of that. I've got the hole duct taped shut with the notch to the top, so no bees can get in and out of there. I think that's about as good as it's going to get for now. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. I'm going to leave this on here till I get it moved, then I'll slide it off and put that inner cover on top of it, and then bring it back to do this second super. I can hear quite a few bees in there still, believe it or not. So there's patches of empty on these. Looks like they may have been consuming some of this one during the dearth. Yeah. There's not much honey in this one. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take it off anyways. So I don't want to leave it on there over winter. See what this thing weighs, knowing this is mostly empty. Yeah, this is a heavy hive, so it'll be fine without that super. Yeah, so here's what that honey looks like. This is from the box on the right. See how dark that is? Good stuff. If you like dark honey. I like the flavor of it. It's more of a richer, robust flavor. The summer honey is more of a fruity floral flavor. Say that 3 times real fast. All right, this should be ready to pull off now. I'm gonna leave it cracked open for a bit. These fumes aren't near as strong when it's 75 degrees out instead of 95 and in direct sunlight. It normally clears them out of there much better. So now we need to just take the excluders off. You can clean up this burr comb stuff here. I'm going to scrape all this propolis off of your around the edges, so when you put your inner cover on here, you get a nice flush fit, and then they will repropolize and seal it up for winter. I want to check the weight now and see what this thing weighs without all that on there. Yeah, this hive is heavy, so it's good. Only thing I need to do now is make sure it's queen right, and I'm not going to do that right now. This is the wax that I will melt, and it makes darker wax, and this is what I like to recoat my frames with after I've melted it and strained it and filtered it. Yeah, this hive here is heavier than that one. Okay, 3 chunks of wax from those 2 hives, and this is what I keep it in when I'm not when I'm out here working. I'll just throw it in here, and when next time I melt wax, I'll grab this. If you don't keep it covered up, the bees will get in there and they'll harvest that and they'll take it back to the hive. Man, look at all these robbers. So this is a strong hive. And those bees can't get in right there, but they smell the honey since that's been cracked open. But this is a really strong hive, and it can defend itself. I could shut the entrance down a little bit, but there's no need. It's got plenty of guard bees there. See them all running around, keeping them at bay. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. Fall harvest, not a very big one. Used to, I would put a single super on about half of my hives. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in many years because they put honey up there, and that needs to be in the boxes below to help them get through winter. So these hives here were so strong. They're plenty heavy. Once I took those off, they're still heavy. So if you've got a really strong hive like these, you can do that and get away with it. Otherwise, you're just going to be pouring money back into it, feeding it with sugar water. So let them take care of themselves and save you the money. So that's the end of the video. I'm going to take these up there. I'm going to blow it out with the my yard blower, leaf blower, get the rest of the bees out there, take it inside, and let it sit for about a day, and then I'll extract it. So be sure and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't on your way out. I'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.